Hello, I'm Tracy Jackson. I'm Marketing Manager of Howells Glazing. We're broadcasting live today from the FIT show, Hall 8 of the NEC. We're going to be talking to several companies about issues that affect them today. We're now going to be talking to Justin Ratcliffe, Chief Executive for the Council of Aluminium in Building, about things that affect the aluminium industry. Hello, Justin.
Good afternoon, Tracy.
Justin, can I ask you, what are the current issues that affect the state of the market, please?
Well, I think there's a lot of things there, Tracy. If you take the FIT show that we're in today, which is started Tuesday, 23rd of May, we've seen the residential market and its huge growth, which is on show. We're also seeing the fact that increasingly the aluminium companies have become more and more customer and homeowner focused. I think there's some other really interesting issues as well, obviously surrounding Brexit and the issues of currency fluctuations as well. But I think what we're seeing in the FIT show today is the launch of some huge new products where size and glass area have been absolutely maximised. And this is something that has really been behind the growth of aluminium in the residential market. And you'll see around our own cab stand, the images we're showing are of large bifolds, large sliders, and this is very much the a la mode, what is very much in vogue at the moment. A lot of people, I think, are asking, where's this growth actually driven from? And the latest research here that we have is that there are something like 5,400 installers in the UK who are actually offering an aluminium product. So that's providing a lot of opportunities for fabricators. What is of concern is whether there's the capacity for companies to be able to keep manufacturing at that level. And our own State of the Market survey, which we did in Q1 this year, actually shows that there's only about 25-28% of companies in the aluminium sector actually working at over 90% capacity. So what does that mean? That means you've got a growing market and there's still the capacity to keep supplying that market. So those are just some of the themes that I think have certainly come across, not only in the sector, but they've also been apparent at the FIT show today.
Right. So we hear all about the aluminium growth, but what is the evidence that that is actually growing?
The sector has grown, the aluminium residential sector has grown by something like 37% exponentially since 2008. We estimate, the current research, especially Palmer market research, estimates that by 2020 the residential market will probably hit a high. Now what's interesting in that is if you take on board some of the issues to do with Brexit, like currency fluctuations and concern over the housing market and everything else like that, you see a scenario where actually different materials will fare differently over the next 3 or 4 years. And it is our belief from our own CAB Trade Association research and also published research that aluminium is set to fare very well in that market.
Great. So what are the factors of concern in this industry then?
I think the factors of concern, Tracy, are there for everybody. We've got the common economic concerns. I keep mentioning currency fluctuations. Obviously, overnight with Brexit, there was immediate concern, and it has caused some pain to especially people in the hardware sector, namely. I think business is all about confidence, and something that our own survey shows. 3 months after Brexit, I think it was third quarter, it was going to fourth quarter 2016, we saw that drop in confidence. But that certainly picked up, certainly to mid-2006 levels in our 2017 Q1 survey. In terms of where it's going, I think the feel from sort of perhaps talking to people around the show today is that there's confidence about sales. Well, we know that from our survey. We know that 86% of net balance of people questioned in January felt that there would be an increase in sales over the next 12 months.
Yeah.
So we know that confidence exists. I think probably the question is whether the margins are still being maintained and where that will go. In terms of entry into the market, I think what's really exciting from a growth point of view is the essence of new product development. And we've seen that all over the show today, haven't we? And with that investment that we've seen, because we've been seeing that investment come, absolutely,
yeah.
and we've seen that investment coming over the last 2 years. And again, one of the factors that we measure is capital investment. And quarter on quarter for the last 3 years, we've seen that confidence in the market, i.e. companies have been showing more confidence in the next quarter and the next year about capital investment than they were in the previous period. And what we're seeing now is that confidence coming to fruition with a flourish of new products at the Fit Show.
Brilliant. So finally, Justin, what sort of important issues are there surrounding the industry at the moment for things such as manufacturing training or things like that?
Well, training's a massive issue,
Yeah.
and I think with all the changes with apprenticeships and everything else that's come to the fore, everybody talks about this magic word, the skills gap.
Yeah.
What does the skills gap actually mean? We see an industry with certainly aluminium as a sector. We see more and more people being employed in the industry, but at the same time, we see a lot of the old skills disappearing. And the concern is that not everybody or not every company has the facility or the resource to actually necessarily get through a full NVQ qualification. So one of the things that we've done within CAB is to launch a CAB skills card, which have launched at the show today. And this enables young people or new starters to the industry to actually undertake a one-day fabrication or installation course that gives them 3 NVQ units and gives them the opportunity to go on and do the full NVQ, but in the meantime they have still been able to demonstrate a level of competency. And if they're successfully assessed, then they can actually apply for what we call our skills card. So it's not a full NVQ, but it's the start of training. And I think very much we tried to sort of buy into the sense of the need to demonstrate this core competency for everybody in the sector. And the philosophy that a company should have is we need to start the training process. So if we can't afford to necessarily run or the time to run a full NVQ for all our employees, let's at least start them to get some relevant health and safety, handling and fabrication techniques, which they can get in a one-day course, get them assessed on that, and then it gives them a start to future training.
So what age are you starting that training from then?
Well, it can be any age at all. The key thing, I think, is the fact that we're talking about a level 2 NVQ. But what we're trying to do also with that qualification or with the competency is to add in additional skills. So, for example, there would be an element of curtain walling and surveying that wouldn't be assessed, but it's very important that these people coming through have a basic understanding of these skill sets.
Because you can't actually get a course in curtain walling or in roofing now, so that isn't a really attractive qualification. Makes it
It's a start. It's a start,
yeah.
and I think we have to recognise that this is a start. What we're doing within CAB is looking to add other courses that will all be, I should say, these are all accredited by the GQA qualifications.
Fantastic.
Each one of those, and need to be added. You asked, I think your first part of your question was in terms of manufacturing. I think more and more, certainly talking to a lot of people today, a lot of people now are saying, how do we use labour more efficiently in the marketplace, within our factory? So one of the things that I know a lot of people are looking for is off-site manufacturing. Would our guys be better employed manufacturing the whole thing off-site or on-site? And that's a huge area, but I see that very much as a trend for the future, very strong.
Fantastic. Thank you very much,
You're very
Justin.
welcome. Thank you.
So that was Justin Ratcliffe from the Council for Aluminium in Building, talking about some exciting things happening in the CAB. Thank you very much.